Yo, 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 what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Karma TV, back at it again with another NBA 2K23 video. And today I'm trying to make a video I've wanted to make for a while, and that's around NBA PlayNow Online. Bro, I don't even know the name of it, but it's where you get to play with the modern NBA teams or historic teams online. And honestly, I don't know how many people actually play this, and so if you play PlayNow Online, you're a real one. Leave me a comment so I know. And yeah, before I go into it, here are the teams that are in Tier 3. If you don't know, all the current teams are split into 3 different tiers. Tier 1 is like Lakers and Bucks. Tier 2 is like Grizzlies, Cavs, up-and-comers. And then Tier 3 is kind of supposed to be bottom of the barrel, but there's definitely some solid teams in there. The Tier 3 teams are the Wizards, Hawks, Utah Jazz, Knicks, Magic, the Nets, which definitely shouldn't be in Tier 3, but we'll get into that. We also got the Pistons and Timberwolves. Alright. Oh, and the Hornets. Can't forget the Hornets. Alright, so those are the teams in Tier 3. If you don't know what this is a tier list maker. Categories go from S to F, F being doo-doo, D's, teams you can win. Before I really get into this, you can win against the Nets or whatever the best team in the tier is with any team in the game, just as long as you know what you're doing. S is most used, overused. A has a good chance against S, B, so on and so forth. You guys get it. And before I get into it, here are the things I'm kind of grading this off of. Basically, it's based off my playstyle, so it's not about the current standings, more about how well you can use the team in 2K. And for me, ideally, you want an athletic and or a versatile ball handler. You want a versatile center, kind of be able to stop the middle and also extend out to the perimeter. You want good shooting, good bench depth, kind of players you can plug in, like Trey Murphy on the Pelicans would be a good example of good bench depth, at least for me. You don't really need 12 players. And lastly, defense, because defense is good. So with all that being said, let's get into the video. Alright, so if you were paying attention, I kind of spoiled a little bit, but the Nets are going up S tier. I don't really know the usage statistics of the teams, man, but for Tier 3, it seems like everybody and their mom is using the Nets, and I can definitely see why. They have KD, who's kind of glitchy going to the rim. I don't know what happened, but KD's defense, especially for the teams in this tier, is just absolutely top-notch. Ben Simmons, while he's not very aggressive in real life, that doesn't really matter because it's a video game, and he's like a 6'10" point guard, so you can facilitate over to Bruce Brown, who can definitely shoot. Sorry, not Bruce Brown, that's Royce O'Neal. He can shoot. Kevin Durant is 7 foot, can shoot, he can rise up over defenders. I mean, you see just how freakishly athletic Ben Simmons is. And on the defensive end, you can put him on pretty much anyone. I'm playing the Cavs up. Oh my god, Ben Simmons, bro. This team is just unfair, and I haven't even mentioned Kyrie. I mean, KD and Kyrie at this tier is just kind of unstoppable. That's 2 of like the top 3 players or something like that in the entire tier. I mean, and just to end it off, KD's getting a little bit dribbly out there. Oh wait, I forgot about. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. Nets are just definitely solid A tier. Next up is the Hornets, and honestly, I gotta put them at the D tier. If you're using them, you're definitely just making it hard for yourself because realistically, the only player they have star-wise is LaMelo Ball. I mean, personally, for me, LaMelo Ball, his shooting form is a little hard for me to get. I prefer shooting with someone like Terry Rozier or Jaden McDaniels, who's a pretty good, versatile, kind of free safety kind of guy. You can off-ball, you see LaMelo Ball going in for the dunk. Unfortunately, their main center is fucking Mason Plumlee. PJ Washington can shoot a little bit, but on the defensive end, he's definitely a liability when it comes to guarding someone like Durant. Kelly Oubre is pretty cool. Gordon Hayward's cool or whatever. Terry Rozier is probably my favorite player on this entire roster, but overall, especially when you get into substituting, they're just very lackluster. Alright, so next up we have the Atlanta Hawks, and honestly, I'm going to have to put them up in the A tier. They match up pretty good against the Nets, because, they have pretty good size, pretty good defense. You got DeJounte Murray on the perimeter. Clint Capella is a very solid center. John Collins, you see there with the little outside shot, not a three-pointer. Clint Capella, again, he's kind of a mismatch against the Nets. You know, he's a better version of Nick Claxton, and then once Clint Capella gets a little bit tired, you can just sub in Onyeka Okongwu, and, you know, you can kind of cover the center position. They have decent depth. Put DeAndre Hunter up against someone like Kevin Durant. He'll have a decent time with him, and he can shoot from the outside. You see here John Collins. I don't know what it was this game, but I was getting some threes with him. Alright, so next up we got the Utah Jazz, and I kind of created this team for the Jazz right here. They're kind of a deep team, kind of fun to use, but overall they're nothing really special. They're kind of lacking a little bit in scoring, although you can do some work with Jordan Clarkson. I definitely had a good amount of fun with him, doing a little bit of inside and out and getting that dunk in real quick. Mike Conley taking a little bit of a shot. He's just kind of a little slow for me, so I can't really put him into a good tier. Although Lauri Markkanen is kind of their primary scoring option. He's pretty good, but I'd consider him more of a second option at this point. Although, I don't know, man. I'm pretty tempted to put them up a little bit higher because of Lauri Markkanen. He's just a really good build in 2K. Once he gets a little bit of an overall increase, I can see him going up. I can see the Jazz getting into the B tier. And once again, man, Lauri Markkanen, you already know what's up. Now we got the Knicks, right? And honestly, I was going to put them at the C tier. They're a very deep team, but I decided to go with B tier. Just because I feel like they have some players who play better than their overall suggests, like Quentin Grimes. On the other hand, though, Julius Randle kind of sucks, man. Honestly, in this entire game, I ended up benching him for Obi Toppin, who I just couldn't substitute out when he's kind of getting to the rim like this with a little offhand layup. You already know what's up. They also have a very good center rotation with Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein. You see me getting RJ Barrett involved right there. Isaiah Hartenstein with the block. You got Quentin Grimes all the way over to RJ Barrett. Kind of gets a little cheeky. We're missing Mad, but oh man, Obi Toppin was definitely going off this game. The one thing I can say is they kind of lack in three-point shooting, which kind of keeps them back from being A tier, I'd say. They're very deep rotation though, and as I was saying, they're lacking in three-point shooting, but Brunson can hit that. Alright, moving on down to the Orlando Magic. Man, I feel like I discovered a very fun team to use, man. And I'm going to have to put the Orlando Magic in at B tier. And, you know, that's primarily because of this man, Bol, right? Like, you guys heard me talk about the term free safety earlier. I gotta say, Bol is one of the best kind of off-ball defenders in the game. You see him getting blocks, steals, and not even to mention Paolo Banchero is just a better finishing version of him. You can even use him off-ball. Look at this man. Dude, I would have been mad if I was him. Bol with yet another block. And overall, not even to mention they have Wendell Carter Jr. Just even that front court makes people quit. It's over. Moving on to the Pacers real quick. Again, another fun team to use. Like I said, Tyrese Halliburton is one of the best facilitators in the game. Benedict Mathurin is one of those players that plays above his overall. He has a grown man shot. In this game, I was absolutely letting it fly with Mathurin, and that Tyrese to Mathurin connection is pretty good. They have Buddy Hield too, but even Tyrese can shoot, so it's kind of like the opposite, right? Like, oh, Nembhard, oh my god, their whole team can shoot. Miles Turner is no slouch either, and he's good inside. Now to kind of get to that bad mold again, we got the Timberwolves, right? And it's not really fair because they're missing Karl Anthony Towns right now. He's out, so we mainly have Rudy Gobert filling in the slack. And their main scorer is Anthony Edwards, of course, but he can't really, I mean, he's kind of predictable. He's a little small. Yes, you see me getting these dunks and layups here, but these are kind of glitchy. You know, if I was playing a better opponent, he'd be able to stop me because Anthony Edwards isn't the best, like, inside force. Rudy Gobert is pretty good on the inside, but outside of that, they have almost no kind of depth, no rotation. D'Angelo Russell is cool, but not great. Jalen McDaniels, he's alright as a kind of versatile wing, but on the bench really is where they lack. And once again, it's not really fair to really rate them. Same with the Detroit Pistons. It's not the fairest thing in the world to rate them, so I decided to put them in the D tier though for how they are kind of at the moment without Cade Cunningham and what's his name, Killian Hayes running the point. Jalen Duren, he's a hot spot, you know, he's a bright point for this roster, but mainly the scoring has to kind of come from the outside with Bojan Bogdanovic. Later on in this game, I subbed in Alec Burks, and he was kind of the man for me on offense. Like, this is the only thing I can really figure out with this team. Jalen Duren is definitely a cool cutter and finisher. He's more athletic than, say, Mason Plumlee. Although Mason Plumlee is no slouch athletically, but I can't really place that team any higher than D. Now, maybe the surprise of the video, I'm going to put the Washington Wizards up in A tier. I even considered putting them up in the S tier, and that's mainly because of their matchup against even teams like Phoenix, even teams like the Suns. Kristaps Porzingis is just a beast. Like, he's a 7'3" center who moves very nicely. Pause. Danny Avdija is a good defender and finisher, even Bradley Beal, although I find myself not really using Bradley Beal too much because the Wizards just have an all-around kind of roster, similarly constructed to like the Knicks, but they have a better center rotation with Kristaps and Daniel Gafford for when he gets tired. So I have to put them up in the A tier. They're capable of taking down the Nets. And with that, this is the final kind of ranking. They're, you know, it kind of evenly distributed against B, but that's kind of how it should be. I put no team in the F tier, although between the Pistons, I think the Pistons are probably worse than the Hornets overall. I mean, no team is F tier, man. You can win with any team, don't get me wrong. That's just kind of the way I saw it after playing with every single team in the tier. Man, that took me a lot of work. PlayNow Online needs to be fixed a little bit, man. Like, it keeps matching me up with the same teams, but it's alright, right? We gotta work with that. So with that, like I said in the beginning, let me know who here plays PlayNow Online. If there's anybody, leave a comment. That's gonna be it. I'm gonna have the next parts to this video in the coming weeks. I'm gonna review tier 2 teams, give a little tier listing of that, and tier 1 teams, and then the week after that. That's what I'm shooting for. If you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'm out. Peace.